Today, on September 21, God says, a sacred contract about your future was just unsealed in heaven. Open this now. Today, September 21. Mark it well. For this date is no ordinary entry in the calendar of time. It echoes through the corridors of eternity. A spiritual timestamp, etched by the finger of God Himself. It was in the 7th hour, under a hush that felt like dawn inside your soul, that heaven leaned in and something shifted in your name. The air around your life has thickened. Not with fear, but with divine anticipation. Because a sacred contract concerning your future has just been unsealed in heaven. Yes, child of God, the seal was broken not by accident nor by routine, but by divine intention. My messenger, Michael, bowed low and lifted his hand. A scroll, ancient yet alive, was released. Its edges glowed like fire laced with gold, and the echo of its unsealing sounded not through ears, but through spirit. The heavens paused. The earth responded. The atmosphere around you changed. There was a scent, frankincense and myrrh, and a flicker in the spirit, like a spark at the edge of your awareness. Not everyone heard it. Not everyone was meant to hear it. Because this message is not for the crown. It is not for the scrolling, the skeptics, or the spectators. No, this is for those who have been restless. For the ones who have been praying in secret, groaning without words, rising at strange hours, and weeping without cause. For those who have whispered, God, are you still there? And yet continue to obey. This contract was written in their name. And yet, not all of it is for your ears just yet. Not all of it has been made known. What was unsealed carries blessing, yes, promotion, repayment, protection, and purpose, but also weight, also warning. For every covenant has a condition. And this one, it requires stillness. It requires obedience. It demands attention. Heaven is listening to your hush. Not your volume. Not your striving. But your posture. So be still for 3 heartbeat silence every other voice and listen. Because what was sealed is now moving toward fulfillment. And your response will set the tempo. Open this now. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 7777 is now surrounding you. Hear me now. A scroll, sealed with heaven's signet, has been opened for you. Not for your neighbor. Not for the crowd. Not for the curious. For you. It was released under divine surveillance, in the 7th hour of holy stillness, when angels bent low and silence became sacred. At that exact moment, Michael, the warring messenger, the guardian of destinies, stepped forward. And when he did, the Spirit leaned in. A weight dropped into the invisible realm. It cracked open something older than time, but newer than your next breath. The scroll bore your name, not your nickname, not your title, not your earthly label, but your true name, the one written in fire across the book of eternity. And as the seal broke, it did not sound like thunder to natural ears. No, it cracked like a heartbeat from God's chest. Oil poured like light. Light poured like rivers. And in that moment, a voice was heard not by your ears, but by your bones. This is no poetic moment. This is a holy interruption. Your routine just collided with revelation. That ache you've been carrying, that tug behind your eyes, that pressure that refuses to go quiet in the middle of the night, it is the echo of this scroll being opened. You were chosen to receive the terms. You were marked to carry the weight. And now, heaven waits for your reply. By sunrise, something will press on your heart. Within 48 hours, something will cross your path. Before the next full moon, a door will ask to be opened or closed. These are not coincidences. These are timestamps. Divine breadcrumbs leading you back to this moment. This sacred unsealing. He looked, and his eyes found the faithful, the quiet ones, the weeping ones, the ones who didn't leave when it got hard, the ones who wrestled in silence, obeyed without applause, and trusted when it looked foolish. He saw you. And when he saw you, he spoke your name aloud in the council of heaven. Do not take that lightly. Your name has been read aloud in the council of heaven. And when it was spoken, it did not echo. It landed, like a signature being sealed, like an arrow finding its mark. This moment demands posture, not performance, posture. I urge you now, silence your phone. Turn off the noise. Close your eyes. And let your spirit kneel, even if your knees cannot. Because to receive what is being spoken now, you must align your body with your belief. You must receive it not with your mind, but with your spirit. If your chest feels warm, if light flickers behind your closed eyes, if a phrase begins to repeat itself in your heart, you are the one. This scroll was unsealed for a reason. It is not just an announcement. It is a covenant. And every covenant demands response. You must return. You must recalibrate. You must walk as one who carries heaven's ink on your soul. Your silence in this moment is not passivity, it is power. Your stillness is not laziness, it is strategy. Your obedience will become the trigger that activates what has been waiting in delay. Receive it now, not as information, but as covenant. Not as content, but as a divine call to alignment. The scroll has spoken. The Spirit is watching. And the heavens are now waiting on your reply. Type "I receive my scroll" in the comments if you feel the weight of this word. Blessing code 1414 has been activated around your covenant. Something's been off lately, hasn't it? You've felt it. The restlessness that wraps around your shoulders like an invisible pressure. The strange dreams that wake you at 3:17 a.m., but slip away before morning. The odd way people have shifted around you, not with open attack, but with subtle withdrawal, sly remarks, and energy that feels off. These are not coincidences. This is not anxiety. These are the first ripple effects of a sacred contract being unsealed in your name. When heaven moves, the earth reacts. But so does the underworld. The atmosphere around your destiny just shifted, and in that shifting, the spirits that once tolerated your silence have begun to tremble at your awakening. You're not paranoid, you're discerning. The air around you has changed because the scroll has spoken your name. And everything not aligned with that name, false alliances, hidden enemies, buried trauma, is now being exposed. There are eyes at the periphery. Not all are friendly. Some are watching, not to celebrate you, but to track you. Some are waiting, not to support, but to sabotage. And the strangest part, many wear familiar faces. Not everyone who smiles has your blessing in mind. That's why the last few weeks have felt like emotional warfare. Petty arguments, subtle betrayals, and a strange pressure to second-guess yourself. It's not random. It's strategic. Hell is trying to distort your lens before you can read what heaven just released. You've been carrying symptoms of spiritual interference. Sleepless nights, interrupted dreams, conversations that drain instead of fuel, a sense that something is coming, but not yet clear. It's because you're standing at a veil. A thin place between the seen and the unseen. The door is cracked open in the spirit, and there's a sealed envelope hovering just behind it. You've seen glimpses, symbols, fragments, phrases that won't leave your mind. That isn't imagination. That's the contract trying to break through your consciousness. Some of the people around you suspect something is shifting. They've seen the flicker in your eyes. They've noticed the recalibration in your walk. But they do not know the scroll. They've caught a movement, but not the message. They're interpreting fragments, but heaven has the full file. And that's why some around you are reacting not because of what you did, but because of what you're becoming. They're uncomfortable because you're no longer who they remember. Heaven unsealed something that rewrote your trajectory. And it's unsettling spirits in people who never expected you to rise. So now, you must move differently. This is your call to spiritual observation. Start journaling again. Write down dates, names, strange phrases. That scripture that keeps popping up. Don't dismiss it. That repeated number you saw 3 times in one day. Note it. God is speaking in code, and the only way to understand the mystery is to record the patterns. Conflict is coming, yes. But hear me, the conflict carries purpose. This fire is not to burn you, it's to refine you. Heaven is not breaking you. It's baking the gold into your bones. The people acting strange are not your enemies. They are instruments being used to push you into divine clarity. If you stay silent and alert, not reactive, not defensive, clarity will descend like morning fog burning under the rising sun. Be still. Be watchful. Don't explain yourself. Don't defend your shift. You owe no one an apology for being chosen. Type "I am awake" in the comments if this word has exposed what you could only feel before. Blessing code 1919 is now surrounding your discernment. Now that the scroll is open and your name has been spoken in heaven, here is how you can help this word reach someone else's breaking point. I feel led to tell you this. Your support isn't just a donation, it's a divine activation. When you sow into this message, you are sowing into soil that grows souls, not status. Every seed releases fire into dry places. Every super thanks, membership, or PayPal gift link in the description below carries the oil of Isaiah 55:11. My word will not return void. That word is alive right now. That oil is pouring through you. I've seen it happen. A simple act of giving has broken generational chains. You're not giving to me. You're giving through me into the hands of God's timing. Step into this flow. Let your obedience create overflow. To the ones who will act, the scroll will move faster. Heaven multiplies what is sown into glory. Move now, bless, sow, support. PayPal link is in the video description. The mantle for harvest is falling. You must know this now. What you've been calling chaos is not chaos at all. It is refinement. It is sacred correction. It is divine reordering. The conflict around you is not the enemy taking control. It is heaven asserting dominion. The moment that sacred contract was unsealed in your name, the blueprint of your destiny began to realign. And alignment, beloved, always creates friction before it releases favor. This is not random. It is not meaningless. It is not karma, nor misfortune, nor bad energy. It is the sharpening fire of purpose. And heaven has decided it is time. You see, the unsealing of a scroll is not a quiet affair in the spirit realm. When that scroll was released, your life, your atmosphere, your relationships, even your geography, came under divine scrutiny. Everything that cannot hold your next season is now being removed. Not rejected, released. And the loss you're feeling, it is not subtraction. It is sacred subtraction, to make room for sovereign increase. The pain is real, yes. The pressure is thick. But you must shift your perspective. The shaking is not punishment, it is promotion in disguise. The disorientation you feel is what happens when false foundations are being dismantled, brick by brick, so that the true structure of your calling can rise from the ashes. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. And the preparation is not easy, because the scroll you carry is not light. The weight of glory it contains cannot sit atop a fractured life. So the Spirit has moved in, not just to comfort you, but to confront what must go. Heaven is not passive in this season. Heaven is precise. Your contract was unsealed, and the enemy heard the echo. That is why confusion crept into your friendships. That is why doors began to close. That is why the things you used to lean on suddenly collapsed beneath your feet. Because you are not meant to walk the next part of your path with crutches. You are meant to walk it with covenant. Listen to me now. You are targeted because you are next. You are being fought because you have been found faithful. You are being challenged not because you're losing, but because you're rising. Heaven has sent messengers to guard the terms of your scroll. Angels now stand watch over your agreement. But there is still a call for your cooperation. Obedience is the key. Stillness is your shield. Silence is your strategy. Not everything must be spoken. Not every battle requires noise. Some victories are won by waiting while worshiping. So when the conflict rises, and it will, remember this, the loudest thing you can do in the Spirit is to obey in silence. The financial shifts that came unexpectedly, they are markers. The people who turned hold without cause, they are indicators. The door that slammed shut just as you reached for it. That was not rejection. It was divine redirection. Heaven is not testing your strength. Heaven is revealing your trust. You are not being stretched to break. You are being stretched to fit your next assignment. The spiritual opposition that arose after the scroll was unsealed is not proof that you're off course. It's confirmation that you're finally on it. So fast. Pray. Declare the written word. And above all, watch what heaven does when you move in alignment. This is the hour of refining. This is the testing that comes before the trust fund of heaven is released. You are not fragile. You are fire-forged. You are scroller. You are contract-covered. The chaos is not a curse. It's a classroom. Your obedience is the pen that writes your next chapter. Type "I'm under divine alignment" in the comments if this word has refrained your struggle. Blessing Thor 2024 is now setting order in your life. Within 72 hours, this matter will escalate. That is not alarm, that is alignment speaking. The unsealing of the sacred contract has set into motion a spiritual chain reaction that is now reaching the physical realm. This is not a delay. This is not a test run. This is a divine unfolding, and you are in the center of it. You have felt the pressure building like a storm front. Conversations have felt unusually heavy. People have approached you with strange energy, unresolved tension, or sudden withdrawal. Do not dismiss these moments as coincidence. They are signs. Heaven is letting you know something is surfacing. Expect confrontation. Not always loud. Not always angry. Sometimes it will arrive cloaked in silence, a shift in tone, a delayed message, a sudden change in someone's posture toward you. And in other cases, it may come like lightning, quick, startling, undeniable. A piece of information will be revealed. A face will be unmasked. A long-delayed outcome will suddenly come to your doorstep in the form of a letter, a call, or a decision you did not initiate. And behind this movement is a spirit, not always demonic, but deeply disordered. Someone has been watching your rise with silent fear. They've observed the favor beginning to form around you. They've seen the cracks of glory breaking through your old reputation. And now, they are moving, not necessarily out of hatred, but from a deeper fear. The fear that your elevation means their exposure. Watch for sudden phone calls that stir your emotions. Watch for unexpected emails or legal matters. Watch for a job change, a financial curveball, or an opportunity that feels too perfectly timed. These may not be attacks. They may be assignments in disguise. But you must discern. Because escalation without preparation leads to spiritual misfire. The atmosphere around you is not just thick with change. It is thick with revelation. You're not walking into random chaos. You're walking into orchestrated unveiling. The scroll that was unsealed is pressing its terms into the earth. What was written is now being read in the rooms you haven't entered yet. This is the moment to pause and posture. Not everyone who approaches you now is safe. Not every opportunity is divine. And not every closed door is an enemy. Some are a mercy from heaven, shielding you from what you didn't see coming. The Spirit says, guard your words. Watch your steps. Hide your intentions. Because there is movement in the air, and not all of it is from above. Take a protective posture now. If you feel a check in your spirit, obey it. If you sense a stirring at 3 a.m., rise and pray. If your peace is disturbed after a conversation, do not ignore it. This is the moment to withdraw into prayer, to isolate not in fear, but in focused intercession. Keep records. Listen more than you speak. Speak only when led. Yes, there is someone close to you who has been harboring quiet opposition. But hear this. Some of them are not your enemy. They are simply deceived. Their war is not with you. It is with the light now forming on your life. Pray with compassion. War with mercy. And retreat when necessary, not in defeat, but in divine redirection. Escalation often precedes release. When the heat rises, the metal softens, so God can reshape your season. Don't panic. Don't confront impulsively. Let the Spirit lead. Because what feels like pressure is actually the prelude to fulfillment. If something in your spirit feels like an alarm, do not override it. That is your spiritual radar. Retreat, petition, and stand. Do not fight the storm. Become the calm inside it. Because the next 72 hours are not about what happens to you, they are about how you respond. You are not under attack. You are under announcement. And the scroll is about to speak aloud through your circumstances. Type I am alert in the Spirit in the comments if you receive this prophetic warning. Blessing code 3030 is now covering your thresholds. Be still now. The shaking is not your cue to react. It is your invitation to anchor. The pressure that surrounds you is not a signal to speak, but a summons to hide beneath the wing of the Almighty. This is not the time to post about it, argue over it, or try to fix it in your own strength. This is the time to shelter in the Spirit, because heaven fights when you don't. The sacred contract that was unsealed in your name on September 21 came not only with blessings, but with terms of protection. And one of those terms is silence. Holy, intentional, strategic silence. There is a 36-hour window now opening, a sacred stretch of time where your mouth must go quiet so that your ears can go sharp. You will not hear the instructions if you are explaining your movements to people who don't carry your mantle. You will not discern the threat if you are drowning in the noise of commentary. Heaven listens to the hush, not the hype. Withdraw for a moment. Create spiritual space. Turn your room into a sanctuary. Shut the blinds. Light a single candle. Say nothing, and let the Spirit speak everything. The enemy cannot intercept what he cannot hear. Your secrecy is your shield. The quieter you are, the more invisible you become to familiar spirits tracking your next step. Heaven is rewriting your coordinates, and your silence allows the rerouting to occur without interception. Speak these words over your atmosphere. My future is sealed. My destiny is covered. My scroll is guarded. I will not be moved. Speak it again until your body believes it. These are not affirmations. These are declarations of spiritual immunity. They build walls the enemy cannot scale. They shift the air in your home. They call angels into attention. Now, take physical steps to match the spiritual posture. Document your conversations, every odd word, every shift in energy. Do not let anything go unnoticed. The small things you write today will become the evidence of discernment tomorrow. Set boundaries. Limit access. Not out of offense, but out of obedience to the terms of your calling. Minimize social media exposure in this window. Not because you are afraid, but because you are set apart. Your scroll is too sacred to be paraded in front of people who do not carry your weight. The enemy works through observation, so become less visible and more potent. Sleep in faith tonight. When your head hits the pillow, say aloud, "Heaven keeps watch while I rest." That's not superstition. That's alignment. Tie a ribbon on your wrist. Write a single word on a note card and carry it in your pocket. Light a small candle before you pray. These physical anchors help your natural mind submit to your spiritual calling. They remind your flesh that something greater is at work, that your life is now marked by divine legality. The scroll has spoken, and your job now is to walk as one who has heard it. Gather 2 or 3 people who carry your fire, not just your friendship. 1 spiritual elder. 1 intercessor. 1 person who doesn't need your explanation to know how to pray. Let them into the secret. Let them hold the rope when you can't see the top of the mountain. And finally, listen with your spirit. You will feel it when peace enters a room. You will sense it when heaviness tries to cloak your joy. Discernment is not suspicion. It is clarity wrapped in stillness. God will confirm what's real. You don't have to guess. The scroll will be enforced. The angels assigned to your covenant are not passive. Your obedience, even when quiet, is a force. You don't have to shout. You don't have to defend. You just have to move in step with the revelation. You are not alone. You are not unguarded. You are not adrift. You are sealed. You are watched. You are covered. Type "I am hidden in his wings" in the comments if this word becomes your shield. Blessing code 4040 is now covering your stillness. Now, move from fear to fierce peace. Now, rise from trembling to trusted authority. Now, shed the skin of the wounded and walk as one weaponized by the word. Yes, the shaking came. Yes, the disruption cut deep. Or listen closely. It did not break you, it birthed you. You are not walking out of a storm empty-handed. You are walking out with scrolls in your spirit and fire in your bones. The enemy thought the conflict would silence you. But what it did instead was activate you. The contract that was unsealed in heaven is not just a future promise. It is a present positioning. You are not waiting for the shift. You are the shift. This is your moment to recalibrate how you see yourself. You are not fragile. You are not falling apart. You are not the victim of hell's opinions. You are not the echo of people's misunderstandings. You are not defined by closed doors, failed timelines, or withdrawn invitations. You are what heaven intended when God whispered your name across eternity and wrapped your assignment in light. Spread your wings now. No more hiding in the cave of fear. No more rehearsing what was lost. The furnace didn't consume you. It refined you into gold. The silence wasn't your ending. It was your ordination. Your value was never in their applause. Your proof was never in their permission. Your identity is not something you earn. It is something you were born to carry. Step forward now, not with arrogance, but with anointing. Speak what God told you in secret. Say it with clarity. Move with precision. Even if your voice shakes, let your faith be louder. The scroll has declared it. The Spirit has confirmed it. And now, heaven waits for your steps to match your revelation. Look around. The doors are already opening. Not every door is wide. Not every opportunity is loud. But listen, there are doors opening through whispers, through strange alignments, through moments that feel small but carry holy weight. You're not stepping into luck. You're stepping into divine legacy. That's why your walk must now reflect your worth. Take small actions that anchor your identity. Speak aloud this sentence: I have been entrusted with glory. Say it again: I walk in heaven's authority. Write down 3 things you expect God to do in the next 30 days. Not as a wish, but as a faith assignment. Name them. Claim them. Record them. Posture changes everything. Action breaks the atmosphere. And declaration unlocks dimension. Forgive who you must. Release who you need to. Not because they deserve it, but because your destiny requires it. Unforgiveness is an anchor, and the scroll requires flight. There's no room for offense on the path of elevation. Let go and rise. If you feel bold enough, assign a new name to yourself. Not the name others mocked. Not the name your trauma whispered. But the name heaven calls you when it speaks of your assignment. Say, I am a steward of divine things. Say, I am the voice for a new move. Say, I am scroll-marked and battle-born. And never forget this: authority without humility becomes corruption. So as power settles on your shoulders, let your knees remain bent in reverence. You were lifted to carry, not to crush. You were called to lead, not to dominate. You were chosen to reveal, not to boast. Now stand. Stand and speak. Stand and move. Stand and believe again. Because you are not who they thought you were. You are who heaven prophesied you'd become. And now, the world is about to see it. Type I am who heaven says I am in the comments if you feel power returning to your spirit. Blessing Code 5050 is now activating divine strength in your life. Now the scroll speaks plainly. The veil is thinning, and heaven is ready to show you why the battle intensified, why the silence deepened, why the shaking came. This was not about punishment. This was about promotion. You were not being stripped for destruction. You were being cleared for commissioning. This is not the breaking of your story. This is the birthing of your scroll's fulfillment. The contract that was unsealed on September 21 was not a vague encouragement. It was a targeted release, authorized and witnessed in heaven, concerning your next level of authority, alignment, and acceleration. You are not where you were, and you will never be again. Because what was revealed in the Spirit is now taking form in the natural. Hear this. You were chosen to be a carrier of divine reversal. That means the pain you endured wasn't pointless. It was preparation for position. The spiritual attacks, the betrayal, the closed doors, they were all permitted because they were strategic. You were being identified. You were being qualified. And now, you are being positioned for revelation. Heaven has declared a turning in your story. Prophetic signs are now following this word. Some of you will begin to see repeating numbers, not just as curiosities, but as confirmations. Others will dream with clarity, names, places, strategies. Some will receive divine interruptions, people from the past returning, sudden reconciliations, contracts being reversed in your favor. These are not coincidences. These are evidences of what the scroll has now set in motion. Your name has been written in the registry of the remnant. Your obedience was recorded. Your pain has been weighed. And now, the heavens are opening for a fresh release of prophetic fulfillment. Some of you are about to walk through doors you didn't knock on. Some of you are about to receive financial provision that makes no sense to the world. Others will experience a repositioning, a shifting of roles, titles, spheres of influence that aligns you not with popularity, but with purpose. But hear this clearly, the scroll does not align with impulse. It aligns with destiny. So no, not every desire will be fulfilled. Not every prayer will be answered in your way. But everything that is written in the scroll will begin to fall into place like divine architecture, piece by piece, day by day. It will feel like you're walking into a life that was already prepared, because you are. Heaven has said, the time of waiting is no longer delay, it is alignment. You must receive this now, not just as a gift, but as a responsibility. This is not the hour to question your value. This is the hour to protect what is being birthed. You are not to leak this revelation to those who do not carry your oil. You are not to apologize for the favor that's forming. You are not to dilute the calling so others feel comfortable. You must carry this word with maturity, with reverence, and with fire. Speak this now. I am ushered into the next realm. I accept what heaven has released. I walk in it with honor. You are not just a receiver. You are a steward. The scroll is in motion. The mantle is real. And the shift is now irreversible. Type "I receive the scroll" in the comments if this revelation has awakened your spirit. Blessing code 6060 is confirming what was revealed to you in secret. Now that heaven has revealed the scroll, now that your name has been spoken in the council of fire, it's time to help someone else find their revelation too. When you sow into this word, you're not just giving, you're releasing oil into someone else's drum. Every super thanks, every membership, every PayPal seed linked in the video description becomes part of the rivers of Ezekiel 47, flowing outward, bringing life wherever it touches. This is how you partner with the scroll's message, not by clapping, but by contributing to its movement. I felt this in the spirit. Someone's breakthrough is tied to your obedience and giving. This is sacred ground, not emotional hype. When you act, you step into the rhythm of heaven's exchange. It's not a donation. It's a divine activation. If this message confirms something heaven whispered to you in secret, then move now. Heaven backs bold obedience. There is no safer soil than the presence of God. Heave boldly, sow faithfully, and let your seed prophesy louder than your fear. The heavens are watching. This is the hour of response. This is the hour where your alignment must become action. Because the scroll that was unsealed in your name on September 21 does not sit idle. It waits for motion. Heaven has done its part. The angels have fulfilled the assignment. The contract has been released. Now the next move is yours. If you stay still in spirit when heaven is moving in power, you delay the manifestation that was already prepared for you. The scroll demands your yes. Not just a yes in silence, a yes in strategy, a yes in obedience, a yes in movement. This is the difference between hearing the word and stepping into destiny manifestation. God has whispered his intention. Now you must echo it back, not just with belief, but with bold decrees and small acts of alignment. Begin here. Open your mouth and declare aloud, I am under divine contract. My destiny is unfolding. My spirit is in sync with heaven's release. Say it until your soul believes it. Say it when your voice shakes. Say it when your faith feels small. Because your agreement becomes a magnet for manifestation. Heaven does not respond to apathy. It responds to active consent. This is not a passive season. This is a sacred window. The scroll has requirements, and one of them is activation through obedience. That means it's time to act, even if your act is simple. Submit the application. Forgive the person. Start the fast. Pick up the journal again. Join the prayer group. Sow the seed. Sign the document. Make the phone call. Move where the Spirit nudges. The scroll's alignment begins with one act of obedience. And every step you take after that will feel like the air is changing, because it is. Heaven always moves in rhythm with those who walk in obedience. But don't expect a roar every time you obey. Sometimes, alignment begins in the whisper. Sometimes, the scroll breathes softly through your next step and only reveals the wind after you walk. For the next 7 days, I charge you to walk under this decree. I am sealed. I am sent. I will not shrink. Wake up and say it. Write it and carry it. Let your routine become prophecy. Every mundane moment, your drive, your work, your sleep, is now a container for heaven's unfolding. Don't underestimate the power of repetition. The enemy doesn't mind a powerful moment. He fears a disciplined believer who refuses to stop showing up. Heaven is not just testing your faith. Heaven is activating your motion. You must start recording your dreams again. You must begin noting the divine interruptions. Write down the names that come to your mind unexpectedly. Record the numbers that repeat. Pay attention to the places your feet land this week. Nothing is random when the scroll is in motion. And yes, there will be opposition. When the scroll moves, resistance rises. But hear this, obedience outruns opposition every time. The acceleration will overtake delay. The yes will override the no. But only a few steps. Destiny is not waiting for you to feel worthy. It's waiting for you to move as if you already are. Your yes today activates tomorrow's miracle. Your small obedience becomes the legal permission for heaven to unleash big movement. So rise, act, declare, journal, obey, and above all, keep your yes loud and your posture low. Heaven doesn't need your perfection. Heaven needs your participation. Type yes to heaven in the comments if your destiny has begun to move under this word. Blessing code 7171 is now accelerating your obedience. While you sleep, heaven negotiates. While you wait, heaven moves. While you stay silent, divine transactions are underway on your behalf. The scroll that was unsealed in your name on September 21 wasn't just a word to inspire. It was a legal document. And now, that document is being enforced in realms you cannot see with eyes, but can feel in your spirit. There are scroll bearers, angelic beings, moving through the courts of heaven, presenting your name and your obedience as evidence. They are not pleading for your case. They are declaring it. For when God spoke your name in the council, the case was already decided. You are chosen. What is unfolding now is the enactment of that decision. This is not a trial. This is a transfer. In the spirit realm, books are being reopened. Contracts once closed due to your past hesitation are being reviewed in the light of your recent yes. And while your body sleeps, your spirit is engaged in an exchange of power. Heaven is handing you access, while pulling away what once weighed you down. There are debts being canceled. There are stolen mantles being returned. There are delays being broken. And there are new assignments being attached to your name, not just in promise, but in power. There are no fireworks in this moment. No thunder. Just a deep, sacred stillness that settles like fog. The kind of stillness that says, heaven is working. Be quiet and trust it. You must learn to discern these holy silences. They are not empty, they are heavy. They are not quiet, they are thundering with hidden activity. This is not the time to question. This is the time to align. Every whispered prayer you thought went unnoticed, every tear that dropped when no one was around to see it, every journal entry, every half sentence spoken under your breath in pain, heaven heard it, recorded it, and has now woven it into the exchange. While you cry, heaven writes. While you sleep, heaven seals. While you wait, heaven assigns. And the most sacred part, this exchange requires no striving from you, only trust. The power of this moment lies in your stillness. Not passivity, prophetic trust. You must trust that your small obedience triggered a massive reordering in the heavenly places. You must trust that the loss you endured was part of a divine trade. What you lost on earth is being replaced in the spirit with something eternal, weighty, and lasting. There are emissaries in heaven, ancestors, angelic hosts, intercessors gone before, who are standing around the throne while your name is spoken. They are bearing witness to the scroll's fulfillment. They are not sad. They are not worried. They are celebrating because they know this exchange is holy. You may sense it. The sudden calm that doesn't match your circumstances. The peace that comes in the middle of unresolved situations. The stillness that drops in your spirit when nothing has changed around you. That is your confirmation. The exchange is active. To tune into this, set aside 5 minutes tonight. Sit in silence. Close your eyes. Picture the scroll opening again. Imagine your name being spoken again. See the hand of God exchanging what was taken for what is now returned. This is not fantasy. It is spiritual agreement. The more you see it, the more you believe it. The more you believe it, the more it manifests. And know this, what felt lost forever is not lost. What was delayed is not denied. What was stolen will not be buried. The ledger is being written. The scroll is being enforced. And your trust is the key that keeps the exchange flowing. This is holy ground. Tread lightly. Speak with reverence. Trust without needing evidence. Type "I trust" the silent exchange in the comments if you sense this transaction unfolding in your life. Blessing code 8181 is moving through the unseen on your behalf. Heaven does not forget. Justice delayed is not justice denied. It is justice refined. And now, in this holy hour, what was taken will be returned. What was misused will be redeemed. What was falsely labeled will be rewritten by the hand of God. This is not vengeance. This is divine reversal. And it is coming with weight, clarity, and righteousness. The sacred contract that was unsealed over your life on September 21 didn't just speak about your future. It addressed your past. Heaven has reviewed the injustices. Heaven has measured the betrayal. Heaven has observed the mockery, the slander, the delay, the closed doors, the hidden warfare, the lies whispered behind your back, the moments you held your tongue when you could have defended yourself, and heaven has now ruled in your favor. This ruling is not about punishing people. It's about restoring purpose. God is not interested in spectacle. He is interested in order. What the enemy thought was buried has now become a foundation. What man tried to shut has now become a doorway. The rejection you experienced was not a wall. It was a launchpad. The places where they pushed you away are now being visited by a wind they cannot stop. Not because you're coming back with revenge, but because God is coming through with justice. This is the season where the scales tip. You will feel it. You will see it. You will walk into rooms where your name was once dishonored, and you will hear it spoken with reverence. Not because people changed their minds, but because God changed the atmosphere. Your name is not being defended. It is being vindicated by manifestation. Some of you will see financial reversals, not by chance, but by decree. Back pay. Old seeds returning with interest. Unexpected favor in overlooked places. Some of you will see relational reversals. Clarity after confusion. Honor after shame. Love after silence. But hear this clearly. This is not for ego. This is not for pride. This is for purpose realignment. Do not gloat. Do not rehearse old pain just to validate your present gain. This is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving that God was always right. Let the glory go to Him. Let the testimony point upward. Let the blessing become a billboard for His faithfulness, not your superiority. Not every form of justice will come wrapped in applause. Some will come in quiet tears, private conversations, and soft acknowledgments from those who once misunderstood you. Receive it humbly. Steward it wisely. And know that what's returning is not just equal, it's multiplying. Heaven is not interested in fair. Heaven operates in overflow. What you thought was lost is coming back dressed in increase. The friendships you mourned will be replaced by divine alliances. The job that let you go will be replaced by an assignment that matches your scroll. The door that shut in your face will swing wide into a space that carries your name on the cornerstone. You must begin to speak the justice of God over your life. Say aloud, the scales are tipping. The heavens are ruling. I am stepping into divine reversal. Say it when doubt creeps in. Say it when the silence lingers. Say it when you don't feel like saying anything at all. Because your mouth is not just a mirror, it is a magnifier of divine outcomes. This reversal is not random. It is righteous. This restoration is not optional. It is ordained. Heaven has written the terms. Now, all creation must respond. Type "the scales are tipping" in the comments if you receive the justice of God over your life. Blessing code 9191 is now moving in restitution and reversal. We now arrive at the closing movement of this sacred word, section Romans 12. Final blessing and closing affirmation. This is where the scroll is sealed again, not in heaven, but in your heart. What began with a divine unsealing now ends with a commissioning. And as instructed, the final support message will flow directly after the sacred close. Let us walk in reverence as we receive the final release. Hear this now. The contract has been unsealed. The covenant has been spoken. The season has shifted. And your role has been revealed. You are no longer standing in delay. You are no longer waiting for permission. Heaven has already said yes. The scroll bearing your name has been opened. And now, the only thing left is your walk in alignment. The protection has already been assigned. The angels have already been dispatched. The path may not be painless, but it has been prepared. You are not walking into the unknown. You are walking into the written. Every step forward is a fulfillment. Every act of obedience is a confirmation. The path may narrow, but the anointing will expand. The resources will appear. The provision will chase you down. Because God does not release what He will not sustain. The scroll was not open to tease you. It was open to transition you. And now, you carry this word as a mantle. Not everyone will understand your next decisions. Not everyone will agree with your realignment. But you are no longer bound by the court of public opinion. You are governed by the court of heaven, and they have ruled in your favor. You are under divine instruction now, and every whisper from the Spirit is more important than the noise from the crowd. You must remember this. This word is alive inside you. When the warfare rises, remember the scroll. When the silence grows heavy, remember the unsealing. When your faith feels faint, remember what was spoken, not to the world, but to you. You were called. You were named. You were chosen. And now you are sent. So I speak this over you now. The final blessing. May clarity overtake your confusion. May favor outrun your fatigue. May every delay be transformed into divine acceleration. May your ears remain tuned to the whisper of the Spirit. May your hands carry only what heaven has assigned. And may your feet step only where the scroll has already made way. You are not just covered. You are commissioned. You are not just comforted. You are called. You are not just protected. You are propelled. Say this aloud and seal the word within you. I am sealed. I am seen. I am sent. The scroll has been opened. I will fulfill what has been written. No more delay. I walk in covenant clarity. Write the date. Circle it. Declare it often. September 21, the day my scroll was unsealed. Your new season does not begin with applause. It begins with awareness. You are aware now, and nothing can stop the hand of God from doing what He already started. The scroll is in motion. Your part is obedience. Heaven will do the rest. Type I am sealed and sent in the comments if this message has marked you. Blessing code 1010 is now releasing you into your next dimension. If this word became your confirmation, your charge, your signpost from God, then now is your moment to sow into the move of heaven. When you give today, you're not giving to a platform. You're releasing oil into someone else's promise. You're making a way for another weary soul to hear that they too have a scroll with their name on it. Every gift, whether through Super Thanks, YouTube membership, or PayPal linked in the video description, is an act of prophetic partnership. This is sacred ground. The soil here is alive with prophetic instruction. Your seed becomes a scroll in motion. Your offering becomes a whisper in someone's midnight hour. This is not a suggestion. It is a divine invitation. Step into it boldly. Let your faith write a legacy. Let your giving echo what your spirit already knows. The scroll was unsealed, and now the word must spread. Heaven multiplies seeds sown into the sacred. Wove now. Obey quickly. Give into glory. The blessing flows where obedience goes.